today we're going to talk fur vest. A few things I want you to notice before we get started is the length of mine. I made it fingertip length. We're going to show you some options so you can decide what you want to do on your fur vest. But any way you do it, pair it with your favorite jeans. It's just amazing. And talk about saving money. We're going to save you lots of money. Come on, let's go to the table. So today I really want to use this as a prep for Saturday. Saturday we're having a sew along, and I wanted to really spend a few minutes on thinking about what you wanted, your final product. Fur is such an incredible fiber to be using that it's just a lot of fun, and I want to make it easy and fun for you. So we're going to start first off by being aware. I want to help you be aware of the fur market. I want to show you 4 pictures. 2 are from Neiman's, which is Dallas based. 2 are from Saks Fifth Avenue, which is New York based. So those are 2 kind of quite different stylistic type places, but I want to show you what's available. So the first photo I'm showing you, this is a $89,000 fur. It's on sale for 50% off at $44.5. The second one from Neiman's, it is a $95,000 fur on sale for $9,250. The next one is from Saks, little fur jacket, shorter now. It's $45,000. It's on sale for $31.50. And then the last one from Saks, just a little fur vest. Fur vests are extremely popular. I think because a little bit of fur goes a long way, we're going to do both. Today is the vest, and then we're going to do a little jacket, so it's going to be just really fun. This last one is $35,000 on sale for $24.5. So what I want you to see is across the world, really, furs are very popular. Real and faux, both are acceptable. We're dealing with a faux fur because we have it. We have this beautiful fur available, and I really want you to see the workings. As far as the workings go, there's really not a lot of difference between a faux and a real fur as far as sewing it goes, but everything we're dealing with this fur. It's called the mosaic fur. And it's just a really beautiful fox, and it's patterned all throughout, and it's got touches of wine and blue, and it's just extraordinarily beautiful. That's our fabric. What inspired today was one of you sent me this photo, and this is a vest, obviously, and it's from Donna Salyer's website, and so that's where I decided we would start here and do a vest to kind of ease everybody into working with fur and hopefully make you really comfortable with how just easy it really is. It's easier than many other fabrics, and yet sometimes we worry about that. So that's the inspiration. In that inspiration photo, I want you to notice the length of her vest, which is why I showed to you. I made mine fingertip. Hers is, as you can see with her hands down, is about 6 inches below her fingertip. I made mine shorter because I wanted to be able to do mine in a yard. So that was my reasoning. I wanted to be able to do a yard. If you want to make it longer, you'll want to get 2 yards, but also you'll have the leftovers, and I'm going to show you some really fun projects for the leftovers down the road. So you can decide length that you want on yourself. Simply measure from shoulder to tip of your finger, and that's the quantity you need. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is we're dealing with pattern number 600. It's the Classic Blouse. Everyone knows it, everyone has it, everyone loves it. So, and we want to show you, I want to show you the changes that we're going to make on pattern number 600. So the first thing we're going to do is we're only going to use 3 pieces, and this photo will show you we're using the front, the back, and the collar. Now the reason we're using the collar is because of that photo and how it looked. So I'm going to refer back to that photo a couple times. We won't keep showing it, but you can go back and notice different things about it. The front, the back, and the collar. Notice that the collar is lowered in the front, and it's also narrow. It's what we call a Mandarin collar. So when we look at these pattern changes, we're going to do a couple things. The first thing we're going to do is lower a neck edge. And when we lower a neck edge, we have to be concerned with how long it was beforehand and how long it was after. That's all we have to worry about. We don't have to measure seam allowance or with seam allowance. None of that makes a difference because we're not making the pattern, we're just changing the pattern. This is a little bit of pattern making, not hard. It's going to be quick and easy and painless. Okay, that's my goal. So the shape of the French curve, and I laid it down on the pattern. I didn't change the width of the shoulder, but I went from 18 to 11 at center front. Okay, and that's the shaping I used. And why I used that? Because I had simply seen it on other garments, and it's not concave, it's convex, and it actually gives a little prettier line to it. So 18 to 11. And remember that it's 18 at the shoulder, 11 at center front. When we talk about sizing, just FYI, I actually went down one size because when I'm dealing with a vest, I'm using a blouse pattern and I don't want any ease. I don't want any ease. I have no sleeves. I don't want any ease. I really just want it to be what I am, maybe a little bit open in the front just to give me that open look. Other than that, so I went down in size. It doesn't mean you'll go down a size. You might go down a half a size, but just be aware that in a normal blouse pattern, you may want to take away some of that ease that you typically have in a blouse versus a vest. So and when I say front, it's not really front, it's that button extension. I left that in place. So I went 18 at the neckline, 11 to my front of my pattern. And then I realized that that was 7 inches. When I measured my original pattern, just like it was 5 inches. So actually what I was doing is I was adding 2 inches in length. So if you look down at the collar, you can see that I added this extension out 2 inches, curved it just like it is, and went all the way through. I just basically, the Mandarin is kind of half of the collar that you're given. And you're going to cut 2 of those. And both of those are going to be to where the fox is going down to where the extra is at the bottom. Okay, and then the other thing I did to the pattern is I just added length. We talked about length already, but just get to the length you want. If you're not certain, just make a muslin. So basically what I want this to do is come down a little bit in the front, not a V, it's not a V neck, that's too much, but it's on the French curve 18 to 11. You'll see those 7 inches, and then you're going to lengthen the collar to match. Very, very simple to do, don't make it complex. But I need 2 collars just like in a pattern. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to some sewing. And so as I was sewing it, I took a couple of photos just so you can kind of clarity. It does not make a difference how you put this together. You're sewing 3 seams basically, and how you put it together is up to you. So the first thing I did is I sewed the shoulder seams. I serged them, and Saturday and also in our sew along, I'll show you serging versus sewing. There's really not much difference. The serger has a little more grip behind it, and so I found serging when it could be a little easier. I actually serged the darts, but what I did do, and why you want darts in fur is because it gives it such shaping. And you'll notice that mine goes out, and of course there those darts are, and it just comes right back in. So the fit is so much better by using seams and darts and giving it control. And in this case it's a vest, it just needs those 2 little bust darts and it just works really, really well, the rest of it. So I know the fur is dark and I know it's a little hard to see. So while I was sewing, I took a couple photos so you could see a little closer. So I've sewn the shoulder seams and I've sewn the darts. And again, you can kind of do those however you want, but I would recommend that you cut out the dart, like a French dart. When we sew a French dart, we cut out the middle. So when I was cutting out my dart on my pattern, I didn't mark those lines. On those lines are stitching lines, I came in 1/4 inch, 3/8, either one, and I cut out the middle portion so that when I was at the sewing machine, I could just put them together and sew them. And again, we'll show you that on Saturday. I was really more concerned just about the cutout and the process and you thinking about the length you wanted and all of those other things. All right, so now we're coming to the sewing and I want you to see, and again, we'll show this on Saturday, but I wanted you to see where the collar, I put it on first to the body. Then you can see that this first picture is where I've sewn the 2 collars together, because you can see seam number A is the neck edge, seam number B is the 2 collars together, it's the very top, and then seam number 3 is the second collar neck edge, and I'm going to bring that together. So look at A, look at B, and look at C. That's kind of that mid trim. I've made 2 seams. I'm going to make 1 more. I'm going to make 3 seams for the collar. Now again, you can do this however you want. There's no right rule, but when you have a narrow collar with a fur, it looks almost like a roll, which is what you can kind of see with this. And it's just a great look, and it's what was on that look in the beginning. It's a narrow fur collar. It's a Mandarin collar, but because it's short and because of the fur and all the hair, it looks almost like a little rolled collar. So it's just a great look. So then this next picture, what you can see is I'm bringing C down to A, and I'm just running a stitch along there, again moving all the fur out of the way every time I do it. Okay, and I wasn't going to necessarily do a collar on Saturday. Maybe I'll do one just to show you all how to do it. Okay, when I cut out my fur, I actually put the very front on the selvage. And again, I don't know that I would do it again. I just kind of liked it. It seemed like it was a little bit of a finish. So look at the selvage of your fur, see if you like it, and think about using it going down the front. None of the seams have to be finished because everything's got fur hanging over it. The armholes, the hem, nothing has to be finished. The front, nothing does. You can do however you want. You can line it and you can pull those seams in. All of those are options, but none of them have to be done. So that's it. I sewed the side seams and I was done. And it was just so quick and so easy. And the savings is just mind-boggling how much they charge for the fur. I wanted to show you a few pictures of just fun things you can do with leftovers. And so I went to Neiman's and I took some photos. Well, these photos, I actually took the photos, but then I went online and found the pictures. The prices are just, again, just for a little bit of fur. This is all real fur. This is not faux fur. But this is a great thing to do with little leftovers. So the first one is a little picture. It's LaPointe is the designer. And you can see where just a little bit of the sleeves have been added. And I liked how it's in the middle of the sleeve. And if you notice where the elbow is and where the wrist is, you can approximate what it is. The next one was a really beautiful collar. I just love that as well. The next one is sleeves also, but you notice they're a little bit lower. And so you could do it at the very end or you can do it in the middle, and you know, it all looks good. The next one is a headband, and I thought that headband was just adorable. Maybe put a little elastic in the back so that it has a little bit of wiggle room. But you know, and you've seen cold weather, these headbands really keep your ears warm and they keep your head warm as well. And then of course the last one is a little bit of it's a shawl, and it's by Lafayette 148. Again, notice the pricing, just really $2,000. Very expensive, but just those are fur pockets. And we actually did that on a webcast before. So I just wanted to kind of show it again and help you see that fur is here. It's popular. It's expensive. It's a beautiful look. Pair it with jeans, a vest. It goes everywhere. And hopefully you can have confidence, sew it, love it, recognize how simple it is, even though it's a different medium that some of us have never worked with before. You'll really see how easy it is. So that's all the prep we need. We're ready. We'll see you on Saturday, and we're going to do our fun sew along. All right, happy sewing. Thanks. Bye for now.